Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Bluesy Water channel. Today I have with me Susan Resner. She's with Youngevity products. She's an expert. She actually worked with me, did a nutritional consult. And so today I want to introduce you to the Youngevity products and also to Susan, because I was very impressed with the time she put in to do a consult with me. And one of the reasons I did this myself, I know probably more than most about nutrition, but I had so many products that I would go through every day, and you know, I douse. I've done videos on, you know, how to energy check, and you know, I knew the categories, but it was getting overwhelming for me to do so many products, and the Youngevity products are quite comprehensive, and Susan can actually get with you and do a interview and assess what your needs. And you can get on a really foundational program. And then if you want to work with me to fine tune certain key additional protocols, then I can do that, including some maybe specialty nutritional protocols. But it's really imperative that your core nutritional regimen every day, you're using high-end products and they're comprehensive. So Susan, welcome, and we're going to get into why the Youngevity products are so superb. I just want to mention one other thing. I became aware of Dr. Wallach, who created this product line back in the 80s. He had a famous book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. But really back then, I was doing a lot of nutritional work with Crohn's colitis people. I was actually also working with Garden of Life when it was in its baby states. I was into whole food nutrition. I have created my own formulas. But the one thing I really liked about Dr. Wallach is his emphasis on those trace minerals. He was really back then just talking how important it is to get those plant-derived trace minerals. So he's expanded quite a bit, and Susan will explain company philosophy to you. So once again, sorry for the long introduction. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be on your program here today.
Thank you. So yes, well, I'm going to say once again that you know, when the reason I ended up meeting Susan is I don't know how I found your 1 hour consult program. I don't know if it came to me online, but once I saw Dr. Wallach, I said, you know, let me visit where he's at these days. And I actually saw him in a show here in Albuquerque. He was at the Tesla show. This was a while back. He actually had just been in an accident. He was using a walker. And I thought, Dr. Walker is using a
I know.
That's a terrible joke. Anyhow, so I was very interesting to see him after all these years. He looked pretty young for God knows what he's in his 80s now.
Yep, he's 82 now.
Wow. So he looked in pretty good shape, except for the fact that he had an accident. So anyhow, so yeah, let's kind of get into it.
Sure.
What's the intent behind the product line? Who you were addressing? How's the program work, particularly with you personally?
Well, those are some very good questions. Basically, it's because our food supply is so deficient in nutrients that we really have to supplement. Even eating organic, we're not going to get all those key nutrients. And really the logo, I suppose, the broader logo for Dr. Wallach's line is 90 for life, 90 essential nutrients that we need every single day. You know, we need oxygen every day, we need water every day, we need these 90 essential nutrients every day or things break. And those are going to be comprised of, every human being needs these, every vertebrate needs these, those 60 essential minerals. Some of those most of those are going to be trace minerals and the rare earths, but then you're going to have those macro mineral needs like, you know, calcium, magnesium, things like that. Then you have 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and then 2 to 3 essential fatty acids. That's really like the foundational need that every human being needs. And then if you have any particular health challenges, as many of us can develop over time because we've been deficient, whether it's bone and joint issues, whether it's blood sugar issues, whether it's brain issues, whatever, then there's some additional supplements that we would add to your programs. But what is so beautiful about it is that Dr. Wallach has developed these recipes that incorporate all these nutrients in very simple forms. Give you a case in point, some of our key products, like our Healthy Body Start Packs. I'm showing a couple of those here in 2 different formulas. And then, of course, our plant minerals, those are kind of our basic, this is a liquid, but this is also contained in these programs as well. Okay, so those are catalysts. Plant minerals, trace minerals are catalysts to transport nutrients throughout our body, vitamins, hormone production, cell division, things like that. This is one of the key products that I usually always added to every program. But anyway, I've been doing this for 10 years and helping people get well. So it is certainly my passion. I mean, and it's something that I really excited about when I see people improve their health. Like for me, I'm actually 63 years young at this today. And I'm optimistic about getting older. When I was in my early 50s, I just thought this getting old stuff is for the birds. You know, I didn't like this getting old stuff, you know, the aches, the pains, the fatigue. And here I am, you know, over 10 years later, excited about getting older. I'm not dreading it.
Well, excited, that's pretty interesting. I mean, I'm actually excited from the wisdom I've learned from the challenge of aging, because you got to do the work. You don't get a free ride like when you're 20. So
You do have, there's a consistency and habits that you develop, and really it's pretty easy. I mean, I take my supplements twice a day, and I do have a, you know, a diet that I follow, but it's not like we're doing some Spartan type of diet or tofu and sprouts. It's good, healthy food, and it's just eliminating certain inflammatory foods that damage your gut and cause a lot of inflammation in the body. So, but that, I think that has been, I'm very excited about, is the being biologically younger than I am chronologically, and then also living younger, longer, that longevity, because I want to be around for my kids and my grandkids, and I want to be healthy. I don't want to be that decrepit old grandmother, you know, you can't do anything. And that's one thing I'm excited about when I help people, that they really get a new lease on life.
well, nutrition is essential. Once again, I want to say, you know, it's very difficult with all the companies out there to sort of piece together a protocol. So that's one reason I started doing this myself, because I looked at the formulations and they are very comprehensive. For instance, one thing in the osteo is MSM, which is that's a sulfur product. It's very important, particularly when you're getting older. They have,
Right.
you know, plenty of calcium, plenty of magnesium. One product I take, even some of Molly, it's hard to pronounce, molybdenum. I can't even pronounce it, but I bought it and it's in these products. Boron is a cofactor for that's in there. So I know about cofactors. I know about the nutrients, and I'm pretty impressed with the comprehensive formulations. So why don't you explain briefly how it works? What I'd like to do, I spend a lot of time working with very specialized programs of people. Nutrition just becomes such a pain in the butt, because if I were to tell people to buy, let's say, 25 supplements, they're not going to do it. So this is pragmatic. It's almost, I joke around, but I'm like sort of subcontracting some of that nutritional interview style to Susan. She can get you on this foundational program, and then once again we can work and fine tune our additional protocols. So explain how it works if somebody contacts you and you do an interview with them, please.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I know that you have an online link that will lead them to an online health evaluation. And so that health evaluation will come to me. And then through that health evaluation, I will have a way that you can schedule a consultation, what works what works well for you time-wise. And then once you schedule a consultation on that, my online booking site, I will give you a call. I will give you, the individual, a call, and we'll have I'll talk about, I'm going to ask you to score yourself. We really cover 4 main categories. For example, hard tissue, soft tissue, blood sugar, and digestion. These categories incorporate most every health challenge that someone's going to have. And then we'll talk over those specific categories, and then I'll ask you some personal questions as it relates to your health and what your goals are. I mean, that's one thing. What are your goals? What are you wanting to see change and improve in your life? And then also, I do factor in budget, because everybody has. So, Dr. does have specific protocols. Let's say someone has a blood sugar problem, or they have a lot of joint issues, or degenerative disc issues, or whatever. There's very specific protocols. There's specific protocols for those, but it depends on the budget. Dr. Wallach says start where you can. So I always put that into the equation too, because I really want to meet everybody's individual personal needs. I always talk about too, do you have any sensitivities, any allergies, any food sensitivities? We talk about that. So, it can take 30 minutes or longer depending on the needs of the individual. Okay.
Yeah, I think we did an hour.
Yeah, I think, I know I try to keep it as, and I try to be sensitive to people's time too. But I find people, what I have found is I feel people really appreciate just that I'm listening to them. I'm asking them questions. I think people need to know that we care.
That questionnaire, by the way, is comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when people contact me, if I'm going to do a consult, I'll have them send me, it's more informal, but I'll put down some basic core things I need to hear from them. I want a whole background of all. I want them to complain, general health history, what they've done. I want to assess, particularly from the holistic point of view, how much they've done holistically. I want to know where they're at. I want to know if they're on medication. So I'm trying to get a state of mind, then a lot of mental, emotional stuff also. So it's the same idea, but so when they do actually do the consult, we can, really tune in and understand what's going on.
Exactly. And I also like to consider their schedule, and do they travel a lot? I have different clients that are airline pilots, or they travel, they fly here and there. So I make sure that we have supplements that are very travel friendly. And so, kind of consider the whole gamut of their lifestyle, and, how many meals are they eating per day, and, to kind of work their supplement program in there to make it convenient. That's what I love about it, because like you, I know I've in the past, before I started Dr. Wallach's programs, to get everything you need, you're just taking a gazillion different supplements, right? But with Dr. Wallach,
you don't know necessarily the quality.
Well, that's true. And then, so
like with the fish oils, for instance, explain on your fish oils why they're superior, please.
Oh, that's a great question. First of all, Dr. Wallach doesn't want people to use any kind of liquid oils in a bottle, because of the oxidation of that oil once it's exposed to air. So this is a thing with the essential fatty acids. So all Dr. Wallach's essential fatty acids, whether they're omega-3s, organic flax, organic borage, are all extracted in a nitrogen chamber. And then they're filled, those encapsulated soft gels are filled in that chamber, so they're never exposed to air. And so then you can be confident that there's no oxidation. Well, what's the big deal about oxidation? Well, think about it. Oxidation degrades something, and The oxidation, see, there's no air that's going into this supplement, right?
Correct.
So, but the thing is the problem is if you're buying other fish oils or whatever, you don't know how they extracted it. And so it could have been exposed to air, could have been open in a vat for a long time. So oxidation of the oils causes inflammation in the body, which creates like a clogging of arteries and things of that nature, and just general inflammation. So not all essential fatty acids are processed correctly, and that's what you can have confidence with Dr. Wallach's. And
Now the heavy metals and all that, are they?
Oh yes, they're IFOS certified, that's a third party independent company that guarantees, certifies heavy metal mercury free as well. And I think that's something that people can feel really confident about. I take a boatload of his essential fatty acids, and I know that's helped me so much with my skin, with my brain. I don't have senior moments anymore. You know, when you're going into another room and you think, well, what am I in this room for? Or you are talking to somebody and all of a sudden you totally forget what the heck you're saying. I don't have those anymore.
Where are my keys?
Exactly. Where are my sunglasses? On my head, right?
On your head. Yeah, look,
exactly.
That's a good one.
Exactly.
Hey, we should have a book. The 20 most the senior. Yeah. Where's my keys? Where's my glasses?
Right. Exactly.
Where's So yeah. By the way, another thing with fatty. One thing. Anybody who's ever had rancid oil. That's a perfect example of oxidation gone crazy. When the oil just smells rank.
Yes.
That's just pure oxidation. It's called rancidity. So that's great. So, okay. So yeah, I just want to, Susan and I were talking about a term. I don't know who coined it. Probably Jordan didn't coin it, but he used to talk about, you're not what you eat, you're what you absorb. And I just briefly want to touch upon pragmatically, like if you were to work with Susan, you're getting these great nutrients. And then when you work with me, I can really take you further in terms of the gut integrity. Now, these nutrients, depending on the state you're in, are going to help improve, especially if you do the gut nutrients, the gut microbiome, the good gut bacteria. I've studied this work for years and years and years and years. And you know, the end game really is to have, if you are blessed with an abundance of good gut flora, and some people are, I'm amazed, they eat like crap, they go to the bathroom constantly, you know, in other words, they're just blessed with good flora, but even that person can get compromised. The opposite extreme, and I'm sure anybody listening here, you know, you say you have a lot of inflammation, gut brain stuff, you know, you have infections all the time. So this is a very big area of the gut. So here's where I could help you, you know, through my protocols, really work on the gut integrity, and then these nutrients would support that improvement. But at the end of the day, once that improvement takes place, you're going to start to absorb a lot more nutrition. So gut integrity is huge. And we really focus a lot on that in our antimicrobial program. I've been studying this for over 40 years, and I've seen every version of colon work. And so we can help you if you're struggling with the lack of ability to absorb nutrition, to become a way better absorber. And yeah, once again, let's go back to those minerals and how important they are.
Well, absolutely. And the one thing that's also, when we think about taking vitamins and things and minerals, usually most supplements out there really don't have, they only have what, maybe 12 minerals, but you really need all 60 essential minerals. And let's say, for example, and they have to be in the right form. Is most of the minerals on the market are more of a metallic form, You want to have minerals that are in the way we're really supposed to get them. Like if you ate a piece of broccoli, your body would absorb whatever minerals are in there. And again, of course, because the soils are so depleted of the minerals, that doesn't mean they're in there. But let's say, for example, the minerals here, this is just the plant-derived minerals in ionic colloidal form. And these have a negative charge. So that means that they act as catalysts, and they absorb through the body, like they're 98% absorbable. So they'll even pass through your cell wall. But these are not metallic. So when you look at these under the microscope, these are prehistoric plant minerals. So it's the plant that was non-fossilized, and then they make a tea out of it. They extract that mineral and then put it in purified water. And so really this has 77 minerals. 60 have been, considered essential. And so these are those minerals, trace minerals, and rare earth minerals. Okay, rare earth minerals are considered those longevity minerals that are those like trace. They're super small amounts, but they're needed for longevity. And that's in this is our flagship product, and it's in all of our other programs too. That's what really is the foundational thing that ignites that absorption and movement and transport of nutrients and minerals. That's really
I mean, even my flagship product, Blue Z Water, one key aspect, and its actual ability to detoxify the body. It's an ionic sulfate mineral product, and the inventor of that actually figured out a way to activate. It's sort of he created he mimics a volcanic event, but the bottom line is that the water can pull metals, chemicals, and the minerals are critical to that aspect. So it is a trace mineral product in an highly activated form that has the actual ability to pull out metals and chemicals. So I have, I mean, I always was taking trace minerals, but I always felt I wasn't quite taking enough. I'd forget to do it. And then this is again why I want to work with Susan, because I got tired of trying to figure it all out every day and, go through those 25 supplements, one by one. And I still, I still take some auxiliary supplements. I still, mainly for the brain, I go in and out with probiotics as my gut flora is in such pretty good shape. I radically transformed that. But if you have let's say you have liver issues or brain issues or gut issues, we really can then stack on very specified, and not just nutritional protocols. For instance, our antimicrobial program, if you take a look at that, is a program if you have, let's say, long-term Lyme disease or chronic fatigue, viral, bacterial, whatever, fungal. It's a way to really dig in and get rid of those infestations. But the nutrition is going to be there every step along the way to support those programs, and then to kick in at a higher level once you finally clear yourself of maybe 30 years of possible co-infections. I'd like to have Susan present a kind of a more in-depth overview of who Dr. Wallach is and his philosophies.
What I'd like to do is share just a little video clip to introduce you to Dr. Wallach. And let me just read this intro to this. There's a video called Audacity of Health, and I'm only going to play a short clip. But what I wanted to read this to you to kind of give you a bigger picture of Dr. Wallach's mission. He has dedicated his life to educating people on how proper nutrition can help them live longer, healthier, functional lives. His really over 50-year career has been filled with controversy as he has researched and made the correlation between the nutritional deficiency in our foods and the rise of disease. So that correlation, he's definitely been the vanguard, lightning rod, in really bringing truth to light in the world of food and science and deficiencies. Well, as you know, as far as his bio, I kind of briefly, he discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in a monkey. And the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, of course, is all built on the whole aspect of it being a genetic disease. This is how they've raised their money, because of the genetic factor. But Dr. Wallach has really, his research, he actually has a book called Epigenetics, which is that there's so much less to do about genetics. I mean, certainly there's things that do factor in our genetics, like our eye color, our skin color, hair color, things like that. But in the broader scheme of health, diabetes is not genetically linked, arthritis, these kinds of things, it's epigenetics, it's more environmental. It's our DNA is not. Our DNA can be maximized with proper nutrition. We're stuck with it the way it is. We can maximize our genetic potential with the proper nutrients that we need. And that's the study of epigenetics. And so
right. And I did watch some of his videos. That term epigenetics is basically going against the belief that you get a disease, it's all genetically caused. Now, I want to just give a quick example for myself. It's not just lack of nutrition, it's harmful environmental issues. So I grew up in New York, and the water there that I drank, the city water, had fluorine and chlorine, which wreaks havoc on the thyroid. So we all know about extreme environmental cases where people get cancers if they get exposed to, let's say, power lines, Chernobyl, but the environment is just insidious. So it's negative factors that harm the body, which we need to be mindful of also. And then we need to correct, and this is where the nutrition comes in. Mm-hmm. We need to correct for these invasive environmental episodes that are occurring all the time. So, you have to be mindful of what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're breathing. And literally now what you're in the energetic fields, like 5G. We're dealing with a whole new phenomena of electromagnetic, radio frequency, microwave radio frequency exposures. So, okay, so let's look at this.
So I just want to play a short little clip of this introduction to the audacity of health. I think it'll give you, I don't know if I have quite queued up exactly in the right spot, but it's in the beginning here. Let's see here.
We're the #1 obese nation in the world. The medical theory is that people are obese or overweight because they eat too much, they don't exercise enough. I mean, there's 2 fitness centers on every corner and every street now. And yet, we're the #1 obese nation in the world. That's because obesity has nothing to do with lack of exercise or eating too much.
His greatest impact on our world is just helping people understand the benefits of better nutrition.
Dr. Wallach has always wanted his mission to be why you should understand that your foods do not carry all the nutritional supplementation that you believe they carry.
The work that he has done for 50 years, it was based on the foundational, fundamental nutrients that your body needed. What the deficiencies of those nutrients actually meant, and how they all tied together to create an entire pathology of disease and illness.
Nothing changes in Dr. Wallach's mission. It is change the world through nutrition.
If something is illegitimate, false, he calls it out, even if it means alienating the entire medical community. He doesn't care. He cares about the truth.
He is so brilliant when it comes to nutrition and understanding nutrition and the need for supplementation at the cellular level.
I realized when I was 9 years old as a kid that nutrition played a great part in diseases that even doctors didn't know what to deal with. And that's how this all started.
All right, so we're gonna put a link below, and when you click on that link, you're gonna have a comprehensive questionnaire, and then you're gonna have an option to schedule with Susan, and then she'll contact you when the appointment time comes about. Do you send out a reminder? Probably send out a reminder, right?
My online booking site does send that, but they will get an email from me with the summation of their scores along with the link to book a consultation if they hadn't already booked that consultation time.
Okay, great. And then basically once you can then contact me and we can go into a further tweaking and do the protocols that I do. But this helps me out in a way because I want to see everybody on some really good foundational nutrition, and we don't want it to be too complex. So this is a great way to get that foundational nutrition, as you call it, the foundational 90 nutrients. So appreciate you sharing Dr. Wallach's work. Dr. Wallach's been around for a long, long time doing this work. He's studied nutrition forever. And we encourage you to get on our foundational nutritional program. So please contact Susan, and I appreciate you doing this interview today. Any closing thoughts?
Well, I do want to encourage you to fill out the health evaluation. And then the consultation is a free service because we're so passionate about making sure people get on the programs and really regain their health. So please take that step. Don't wait. We want you to start living a healthy, vital life right away.
And like I mentioned at the beginning, nutrition can be so damn complicated. So these are powerhouse formulas, and you can keep it simple, and
Right.
and then work with me to focus on fine-tuning certain aspects of your recovery and health issues. Thank you for coming out, Susan.
Great. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you.